Hey everybody, and welcome to Jack's Treasures here on YouTube.
Yes, we are. This is our ongoing series of questions and answers that either we have or people have asked us, or the things that are just, common questions that people ask.
By the way, he's Brian and I'm Tracy.
I'm Brian.
Yes.
It's Tracy. I forgot. Jack is our cat.
Yeah.
Okay. With the shirt's walking. Don't fall off the chair. That's Jack, our cat. Today's question is a very, very common question. A lot of people have heard the saying before of you make your money on the buy,
right?
Rather than you make your money on the sale. And today we're going to explain or try to explain what that
means, at least to us.
Yeah, again, this is on these series questions. And by the way, we're in, let's see, what's today? Wednesday, right?
Today's Wednesday.
We are in just below Chicago. We're in Indiana. We've never been to Indiana before. We're actually in our warehouse right now because we're pre-recording this.
Actually, this will be on Friday.
This one's on Friday?
Yeah.
We're at Plains to Profit in Omaha, Nebraska. Sorry, I don't know.
Took me a second to do the math, but yes, this one will come out on Friday, and we will be in Omaha, Nebraska, experiencing Plains to Profit.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. That is hosted by Corey and Teresa, Grams and Pops Vintage, and Alicia, the ink picker. So check out our Instagram because we're going to have a lot of stuff on Instagram, hopefully, about the problem. And you'll see a bunch of other people that are going to be posting there. We're not going to be the only ones there.
Hashtag Plains to Profit.
Yes. So, again, back to, this is just our opinions. If you have a differing opinion, please put it down in the comment. Or if you have a question about us or a question that you would like to ask us to cover, please drop it down there in the bottom. Drop it down there in the bottom. So, what does you make your profit or you make your money on the buy or the purchase mean?
Well, I mean, to put it simple, I feel like it means that the act of buying is where you put your thought into the process. You're going to sell it. That's going to happen. But deciding whether something is worthy of your time and your investment, that's where your thought needs to be.
The saying usually comes from the stock market, buying low and selling high.
Right.
Okay. That's basically what the stock market is, unless you're doing different types of trading on the stock market. But that is buying low and selling high. So when you are buying something, you're trying to buy something at a lower price than what you're going to sell it for, obviously. I mean, that's what the very, very nature of reselling is. So you want to sell something, you want to purchase something. So that's when you make your money, because you don't make your money when you sell the item because you have no idea what it's going to sell. You do a quick comp of the item, you look up what the item might be selling for, what the sales through rates are, all of these different things. And then you factor in what Tracy just said, your time, your efforts to put in there, how long is it going to sit on a shelf. All of those things are all factors into when you actually make the sale of the item. I always say you make your money on your buy and you earn your money on the sale. So the key is to buy low to sell at a higher price or a higher margin.
I mean, another way of looking at it is that you can make money on almost anything if you're getting it at the right price. Ideally, would I want...
The key word there is almost anything. Clear glass.
Not us.
Goodbye.
Ideally, do I want to sell $3 packs of pens on whatnot? Not really. I mean, there's definitely better money to be made, but we bought a storage unit that was jam-packed with office supplies, and we had literal pennies into each
one of these items because of the quantity of those items.
At this point,
we spent almost $1,200.
Yeah,
and we're well into the profit on that.
But I bring up this pack of pens for $3, and it doesn't sound that amazing. But when I only had maybe 2 cents into it, I made money on that purchase.
That's right.
When I bought it.
When we made the buy of those storage units. We just had a sale last night. Well, a week ago, since this is Friday, which it's not Friday, it's Monday.
Don't confuse yourself. Don't confuse
okay,
yourself.
we had a Whatnot show where we
Yeah.
made about $1,300 plus in 20 minutes on Whatnot. The items that we had in that show, we had about $250 into that show. The majority of the items were items that came out of a storage unit that we purchased almost 2 years ago now.
Almost 3 years
almost 3 years ago. And it's already paid for, well paid for.
That's something that we're going to talk about later called sunk cost.
Yeah. So we bought that storage unit and we paid, that's the most expensive storage unit we ever got. And we bought low. We spent $8,000, a little over $8,000.
And it was paid off very, very quickly. We very quickly recouped our investment, and anything that sells from here on out, that's
straight profit. That's what we earn.
Yeah.
Okay. So we made our money when we got the unit because we knew we could see the stuff that was in the unit. That's just a totally different thing.
It was a unit that wasn't a gamble. Most units are gambles. That unit was not a gamble.
Yeah, we saw everything that you could see in the unit. And doing research and stuff like that. If you want to check out some of that stuff, look at our Monday episodes. Every Monday we drop ones on our tips of storage auction buying.
Should I let her in?
Yeah, go ahead. Just going to disturb the thing anyway. That's our kitty cat. If you guys haven't noticed, on our shows now, we have a cat that just has to come in here. There she is. There's little Jessie. She's going to climb on me, and then she's going to claw me, as she loves to do. But she is a sweetheart and stuff. She's already looking for a way to get up here.
Yeah.
But you make your money when you buy the item. So when you're at yard sales and you see these people haggling over prices or, trying to lower the price, that's making money on the buy. Now, you don't always have to go to the bottom dollar or try to get the thing for free or whatever it may be. And it also factors in things like margins. Buying things at a higher price and selling them at a higher price. Again, you make your money on the buy. You go to an auto auction. I've been to one. I did an auto auction. I bought a car at an auto auction. I paid $185 for the car. Okay. I probably put about maybe $300 into the car. And then I drove the car for almost a year and sold it for $500. Now, it doesn't sound like there's a huge profit in there, but you got to think, I drove the car for a year, so I used it for a year. So at that time, there's cost in there that's savings and stuff like that.
He wasn't even in that to make money.
Right. And I did.
My very first car was the exact same way almost. Bought it lower than I sold it for, and we just got very lucky.
Yeah. We were talking to a seller yesterday who was telling me that he bought a motor for $45. Okay, for $45 on an auction. And it goes for $400. So buying at the bottom dollar does not mean you don't have to do that in order to make your money. Okay, of course you want to sell things. Yes, Jessie. Yes, you were a sweetheart. Okay, and I love you. Okay, cats, the world of cats and reselling. That should be a whole video for us right there. That's going to be our next topic. How to deal with cats when you resell. People tell me to run them in the show.
We're not very good at it.
Yes. But the biggest thing is like I said, think about things like, what do you want for your margins? What are you comfortable with your margins? What is your bottom dollar for selling stuff on eBay? There are people that I know that sell things for $1. They start them off at $1. Okay, making about, if it sells for $1, about 35 cents. So what are you comfortable doing? What is your time worth for you? But when you make that buy is when you make your money. You earn the money when you sell the item. Now, let's say I comp the item out and it's got a sales through rate at $50 and I put it up there. And there may be a lot of them up there, okay? And the price starts going down, 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 down. And mine, which was very comparable to where it needed to be, is now on the higher end and people are selling them at the lower end. So I lower the price, lower the price. I still made my money because let's say I picked that thing, like an example. I spent $3 at a yard sale for a Sirius XM thing that I comped out at $25 on eBay. Okay, I sold it on Whatnot in a day, the very next day that I got it, and it went for I think $12 or $17.
I was going to say $17. I think.
So I made the money when I bought it because I spent $3 on it, and I earned the money when I sold it. When I sold the item. Yes. So you can make money when you make larger purchases. I know a lot of people that flip jet skis down in South Florida. My brother was actually going to do some of that, where he would buy a jet ski from somebody for, you know, a couple $100. He knew how to work on them, clean them up, fix them up, polish them up, put it up on the marketplace for a couple $1,000s. Again, you make your money when you buy the item. It does not have to be the bottom dollar. And you got to be careful of market shifts.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned about just the other day, what Tracy talked about, racing to the bottom.
That tends to happen when there is an item that a bunch of them come into the market at one time. Clearance items, for example. After Christmas, the price for a lot of the holiday clearance items is going to go way down. But if you're willing to sit and wait, prices are going to slowly go up. We have done that with Christmas lights. We haven't done it the last 2 years just because we had so much else going on, but it used to be a big part of our business was buy Christmas lights on clearance, and then I would send them into Amazon, but I would price high. I would not price at the current low price. I would let them sit and I would wait, and then come April, May, June, July, when
Valentine's Day, although the red ones on white always go, wedding ones, they would always go at that time. It was just the market shift on those.
Yep. And that's definitely, if you want to focus on that as part of your business, that can be amazing to be able to take advantage of those market shifts and hold and sell. We have a section in our garage that is full of stuff that we have bought at lower prices, and we're waiting for the market to catch up. For us, mainly it's Legos, but
Pokemon, Harry Potter, Pokemon, things like that. Another thing that's about it is, and this is one of the things that I find really, really fascinating, is if you look on the YouTube and you search reselling, you are going to get inundated with so many videos that there's generally like two rules of thoughts on videos. There's ones that's called pulls, what's sold, and there's called ones that are picking videos.
Flipping and picking.
Yeah, flipping and picking, okay? And so you go ahead and you watch how many videos out there are of people that are just going out there and showing their buys. They're showing their buys. Why are they showing their buys? Because that's when they make their money. And people watch these videos, I mean, way more than they watch ours.
Right.
Okay, way more than they watch ours.
And we'll have a few videos like that in there. I actually had someone comment on one of our videos recently that they would like to see more of that. And we'll try to put it in there.
Yeah. Yard sale season is coming, and I got the GoPro out, and so we'll do some more of those. But that's what you're seeing. You're seeing people making their money on the buy.
Right.
And then the ones that are showing the pulls, they're showing that they're earning their money at that time. And when they do the polls, they always say, oh, we paid $1 for this. So that's when they made their money, when they bought it, because they're anticipating selling it, and then it sells. That's when
One thing I will say about either of those type videos you watch is, remember, you're watching a highlight. You're watching a highlight reel.
Not her. She's awesome. She's awesome. Okay, besides that, I would never say that on camera. I probably should say it on camera, because if she beats me on camera, I got at least some kind of proof.
If I made a flipping video of our sales yesterday, I'd be showing these awesome genealogy books that we bought in a storage unit for nothing and sold for $100. I'd be showing those lounge flies we sold for $60. Would I be selling or showing you the Game Gear game that we bought for $1 and sold for $2.50? No, I wouldn't be showing you that. You would be seeing the highlight reels. And
yeah, you see a lot of that.
It's very easy to compare yourself to other people because you're seeing their highlights. Just remember, they're having those low sales too.
A lot of them. I call it a staple item, and we'll do a whole video on staple items. And bolos. They give out bolos. What's a bolo? A bolo is making your money on the buy.
Yep.
Okay, because they're saying, look, this is out there. It's a hot item right now. I know for us, one of the biggest items out there that we did a huge bolo on that I had no idea was Nora Fleming. Nora Fleming. Okay. You've seen the video on that. We literally got paid $25 or $20? $25 for this
collection.
3 boxes of these things, and she sold one of them the next day for $1,295. So yes, and bolos are out there. We made the money when we bought the items. We earned the money when we sold the items. I think you have one left, you were saying?
I'm out. I have one box left that I actually need to get up, an empty case.
It's the empty case, and that'll sell for about $35 in and of itself. And she already sold the other one. So that was like about, I think there was 12 to 14 items in there. And we probably earned close to about $2,000.
Over 2.
Yeah, over $2,000 on that. That was a bolo. That's buying, you make your money on the buy, because she was so excited about it. You'll see if you check out her videos, it's in there. And I think there might even be a short on that one too.
But low dollar video games are not a bolo, but they are a staple for us that we consistently make money to pay our bills with every single month.
Yeah, when we were doing Peaches to Beaches last weekend with Chris, the Cajun reseller, we were all looking for video games, and Chris was looking for them, I was looking for them, but most of the time we were finding them at $5 a piece. Well, I came up on one yard sale that they were all $2 a piece. So I went.
He bargained.
I didn't even bargain. I just made a deal. I said, hey, listen, I'll buy all of them. What's the best that we can do? And I ended up paying, $80, and I got 192 video games. So I was under 50 cents a piece.
You want to know a secret? Those are all already gone in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, they're all gone.
We have either sold them on Whatnot or traded them in a local store.
So the ones that I sold on Whatnot, I made $140 on that.
Plus the bigger ones.
Plus the bigger ones. I had a couple ones that I listed on individual shows, and they sold. So I probably made about $180 just on those. Minus the $80 is $80. So I doubled my money. But I turned in about maybe 30 of them to McKay's, which McKay's is going to give me store credit for them, which then I'll go and I'll buy another thing to sell.
And
so
this was done in like 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
And was that a bolo? No. Was it exciting? Absolutely not. But that is part of what puts the money on our table.
Yeah.
Or food on our
so
table.
basically, that's what making money on the buy means. You're buying low to sell high. And you earn your money when you sell the item. Because then when you sell the item, that's when you factor in all of the time, all of the effort that you put in to sell it, how long it stood on your shelf. That's when you're earning your money. But you make your money when you buy the item. Now, do you make money on every item that you buy?
No.
No. Sorry, you can watch all of those other videos of all of the picking videos or the pulling videos, and they're showing all of those great things. And I'm not going to sit there and downplay anybody else or try to say that that's all fake. No,
everybody
that's
makes
all
mistakes.
Real. But everybody does make mistakes, even the most seasoned one. So tell us about some of the buys that you've had that have been some amazing buys that you got, and or some of the flops that you have. I can tell you some of the flops that we've had. One of them is called Geeky Tiki. Okay. We bought, I think, 20 Geeky Tikis and didn't make a dime on any of them. Okay, so
I think we still have a couple left still floating
I think
around,
we
unfortunately.
do. Yeah, I haven't broken them yet. I'm trying to. I mean, I really am, because they are ceramic. But that was one of our just flops, total flops. So down in the comment below, give us some of your flops. Give us some of your great ideas. Can't wait to read what Roman writes. Putting you on the spot there, Roman, so you got to come up with something really, really good. Okay, but like, share, and subscribe, and if you could, help us out with Stop Soldier Suicide. It is, Tracy will post the link down below. 21 soldiers a day. Just way, way, way too many of them, guys. And as always,
pet a cat.
she's right down there. Peace out.